All right, welcome back, everyone. A little quick recap. We were adventuring further down into the hull of the ship. Uh, Snake monsters sneaking out at us, getting burnt to crisp, quickly being killed by Bragg, where we took a short rest to regroup before hearing a strange noise further in the hull, the sound of like a glass blowing whistle. And we came in, the large hole was filled with glowing, pulsing crystals. Um, Not sure what they are or what they do. We maneuvered through them to get to the lower or front portion of the hole. Through the door, quickly attacked by a snake, and Bragg changed into the creepy, dark, murderous, evil, kill, bring back to life again, kill again, over, rinse and repeat. Don't get near. That Tabarin, recognize from our adventure in the cave back in probably our first or second session. Inside, what was it, a kobold in orange?
It was like a
Yeah,
like a really
it
big
looked
kobold.
like a kobold, but he was standing almost as tall as a man. You've seen kobolds before,
Right.
in your travels and adventuring, and it definitely had all of the features of a kobold, except it was orange and as tall as a man.
So this kobold in orange and Bragg lock eyes, and Bragg attempts to stab him, is essentially caught in midair, thrown against the wall, puff of smoke, he disappears. We continue fighting our way into the room. A magic circle begins to pulse, at which point Tabarin tried to dispel it. What he thought should have worked did not, and the crystals outside gave a large pulse of energy, at which point a very large, creepy, I missed the description, monster appeared inside the magic circle.
I think that pretty much covers everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for those of you that are trying to keep track of the subtleties and figure out what's going on in Lolash's brain, like me, as Brieg charged in to fight the kobold that he apparently really dislikes, he yelled out Kurtlemock, presumably the thing's name, maybe, and it looked at Brieg and called him Baravar before it disappeared. Yes?
So you're friends with kobolds.
Yes.
Well, not friends.
You're on a
Apparently,
first name
definitely
basis
not
with
friends.
them.
We are on a
First-name
first-name basis.
Okay, we are down
Except-
to Brieg's turn, by the way. So that's where we're going to be renewing combat. This large thing appeared from the circle as the energy struck out from the crystals and nearly punched holes in the rest of the party. And then the big thing stabbed at Brieg with the trident. It missed. It's now Brieg's turn. So Brieg, what are you going to do with your action?
Okay, so as the thing stabs at Brieg, he dodges out of the way, and it like stabs the trident into the deck where he was standing. Brieg places a foot on it, and then scampers right up at the trident, and screams and spits and is all very angry and says things that are not appropriate for a family-friendly channel, cursing the fact that this coward has run away from a fight and not let him get his sweet murder on. And as he takes about the fourth step up the shaft of the trident, he jumps in the air, splits into 3 people, and just like goes haywire on this giant beastie. And all. And now I'm going to click this button many, many times. Oh, that was the wrong button. This is the button that I'm going to click many, many times. 1, 2, 3. So did those all hit? A 23, a 31, and a 22?
Yep, and yep.
And then we'll do the offhands. 25. Oh, 13. Oh, except advantage, I think, right? So 25?
Oh, yeah, you do have advantage. So 25, yes.
And 23.
Okay. So
Holy
everything attacks
crap.
and hits.
So that will be 12, 38, 49, 59, 63, 73, 82 damage is
82 brings
is
it
that-
down. Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to do the math in my head now. 82 is that much. Okay. So you see Brieg split into 3 Briegs, and all of them like dance and faint and stab and murder and kill and poke this huge creature, just poking it over and over and over again, and it tries to swat at him, but is just completely dumbfounded by the flurry of blows coming his way. And a moment later, 2 of the Briegs disappear, and the big thing is covered in deep, nasty cuts.
And Brieg kind of, you know, the the scene where Legolas like slides down the oily font after killing it, just kind of nimbly slides back down off the thing and lands with both his daggers at his side, ready for more.
Okay. The 2 wolves are once again going to try and bite people. This time, one is going to try and bite Llama. Disadvantage.
Absolutely.
I miss.
Great.
And one is going to try and bite Din. Will a 22 hit?
Oh, I imagine so.
Okay. For 5 points of damage.
Okay.
As the wolf nips at your ankles. Not playfully, mind you. He's
No,
definitely trying to eat them.
angrily.
And the blue wizardy thingy that has been casting spells in Brieg's general direction is going to try and do the exact same thing he did last time. And just misses with the attack to start with. So another lightning bolt streaks out towards Brieg and misses him. Harbeck.
I used to think I should help protect Brieg, and now I wonder if I need to be protected. Harbeck is going to continue
From
the...
Brieg.
From Brig or by Brig?
From, by, you never know. Harbeck is going to continue the stick and kick. We're gonna whack and then shin kick this wolf.
Make it
Hopefully.
happen.
Nope. And yes.
Critical shin kick.
No, it's not.
Wait, didn't we determine that I don't actually have disadvantage
Oh,
on my
right.
attacks? Just my
You don't have
abilities?
Yeah, so you actually crit for
Yeah.
9 kick punching damage. Wow, okay, so you managed to kick its shin to death. And as you kick it quite firmly in the shin and hear the snapping of ethereal bones, it poofs out of existence.
Oh, that's
And
quite intriguing. So I have a move left, and since that guy is done with, I'm going to use my move to just go to here. I really don't want to draw the attention from the thing that is very ineffectively attacking Brieg. So I'm not going to go any further than that. Like, it can go ahead and keep missing Brieg for a while, that's fine.
okay. Din, it's your action. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess I will stab this wolf again. Seems like a good idea. He did try to bite me after all. He did actually bite me after
I was
all.
going to say, there was no trying involved.
Maybe. maybe I'm going to attack this wolf.
Maybe.
Come on, interwebs. Push the button.
It will come. I'm sure it will come. Eventually.
There they go. Ignore that second scimitar roll. That was me getting antsy.
Don't you get an extra one anyway?
Oh, I do. Wait, do I?
So,
Yeah, you're level 5, so you get
oh,
two,
right.
two normal... Well, you're more than level 5. Yeah. 2 normal attacks plus your offhand.
I always forget that I get to stab lots of times.
but she's dual wielding the same weapon, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just take
Right.
those 3 attack rolls.
Yeah,
So
right.
2 of them hit for a total of 17 damage. You bring down both of your scimitars and cleave the wolf's head off. And
Very
the second its head separates from its body, it disappears.
Oh, it's very unsatisfying.
This is a family-friendly fight, so we can't leave the bloody corpses.
Let's move on to
Like when
Tabarin.
you jump on the little mushroom guys and they squish and then just kind of disappear.
Right.
Yeah. You don't see like the oozing fungal blood. I never thought I'd say something like that. Tabarin, what would you like to do with your action, sir?
Tabarin casts a spell at the large beastie in the magic circle. Needs to make a con save, DC 16.
Passed, so I take half damage.
6.
Okay, as you hear the thunderclap as Tabarin rubs 2 small stones together. Let's move on to big scary thing.
6 damage.
I know, right? I rolled really bad.
The
That
big
was-
huge thing with its open hand is going to lunge out and trying to grab hold of Brieg. Rah. And Brieg would comfortably fit in this thing's palm. I just want to point that out. So I make a touch attack. And a 9 is going to miss. He swipes at Brieg, and Brieg nimbly dodges out of the way yet again. That's going to be the end of his action. Brieg.
Kurtlemock, cowardly bastard. And Bree dives in again for more giant thing blood.
More stabby stabby.
Yeah. Oh, I missed, I think. So that will be a crit.
Advantage. Advantage.
Do I still have it? I thought it was that was the ability.
Oh, actually, no.
that's
Yeah,
giving me
you
advantage.
don't have advantage anymore. Yeah, you're right. So 14 will miss. So you hit him once for 16 damage.
16 shock piercing damage.
Okay. It is
And then
now
he
the bad
looks-
guy's turn.
He looks somewhat put out that his other dagger didn't land effectively.
What is this? I missed an attack? This isn't supposed to happen.
But I
Clearly a
never
faulty
miss.
dagger.
The blue humanoid lizardy thing hisses and spits. Bah! And turns to Llama.
But Breek's scarier. Clearly you need to deal with him.
I hit your armor class. So can I have a reflex saving throw from you, please?
Yeah. No.
The bolt of lightning that arcs out from its outstretched hand strikes you squarely in the chest for 17 points of damage.
That is a lot of them.
I'm glad it hit you and not me. Sheesh.
And then we're on to Harbeck's turn.
All right. Well, Harbeck is going to, perhaps foolishly, drink another potion from his belt flask, and then jump over this table and punch this guy square in the face.
Harbeck is going to have to literally sleep for days when we get back to land.
Harbeck is going to be very tired,
Literally.
but he might hurt a guy. So the drink is a. Oh no, I can't do. Wait,
You can
do
take a
that?
5-foot step.
If I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always take a 5-foot step as well as a move and attack action. So.
All right. Good. Then probably just the one attack though, because I'm out of actions. So we will hit him with the quarterstaff. Come down, jump over the table. Quarterstaff long over the top of the head. Try and crack his skull. No.
You
really
cracked the
sad I didn't
floor.
roll the second one.
Yeah, you crack the floor, but it happens, unfortunately. Harbeck misses. Din, it is on to your action. What would you like to do?
Ooh, cool. I would like to heal the dwarf. I have to get closer to him, though, I think. So I can touch you.
That's what she said. Cure wounds. Have some hit
Nice.
points back. 9 hit points.
Ooh.
And
Now I
we'll
can
be
survive
moving
another
to
lightning bolt.
Maybe. Tabron's turn. I didn't roll max damage.
Right.
Tabron's turn.
On the lizardy thingy,
Yes.
we'll cast the normal Eldritch Blast.
I like that we've all decided. Brig's got this. We'll all take care of this other
Yeah.
guy.
Brig is in dagger distance melee with a thing that is probably literally 20 times his size. And you guys just, let him do it.
I guess he's good.
I kind of want to stand next to it just so Bree can have sneak attacks. Just to see what happens.
I don't even want to stand as close as I am to Brig right now. 20 to hit.
20 to hit will hit.
12 damage.
12 force damage.
15 to hit
Will hit.
for 14.
It's buffeted by 2 strikes from Eldritch Blasts flying over the shoulder of you, Llama. Hitting it squarely in the jaw, but it still seems to be standing, although it's quite groggy. Big Scary Thing. Big Scary Thing seems to have noticed
No,
that guy
no, Senpai, don't notice me.
down there. And in its single hand, it hefts its trident and throws it at Tabron.
No.
Will a 17 hit you?
Yes, it will.
This is going to hurt.
Yes,
Through a
it will.
trench. Why aren't
And
we
I
running
didn't mean
away?
to post that in chat,
That was-
but now you know the damage roll.
Roll for-
So you'll be pleased to know that it was only 11.
oh, that is very poorly.
wow.
2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 6. I rolled less on 3d6 than 6. Do you know the odds of that? It's not good.
Not great.
No, it really isn't. And then it's going to also take a swipe at Brig and try and grab him again.
As I took damage, I will use my Misty Escape and teleport. Over there.
To
Hey, clue reference for people guy.
way over there. Okay. And, sorry, I'm swinging at Brig. Will a 17 hit your armor class?
Brig disdainfully raises a hand and a magic shield blocks the swipe.
And the thing starts to bounce up and down with rage, which is very scary on a wooden ship. Harbeck is probably a little bit unnerved at this point. Brig, it is now your action.
Okay. He glances over at the rest of the group and kind of shakes his head a little bit and turns back to fight the giant thing that he's soloing, and ducks back in for a couple more stabbities. We had 21 and a 19
Both will hit.
for 15 damage.
This thing is starting to look very worse for the wear. Okay, it's time for everybody's favorite spell.
Is it lightning bolt?
No, it's actually not a lightning bolt. Also, when did you become a robot?
We keep losing your camera.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It doesn't matter. Can I get reflex saving throws from Harbeck and Din, please?
Wow. That means it hit. Ooh, nice! No, bad. Duh. Disadvantage. I'm so tired I can't dodge.
What am I? Reflex.
Dex.
I got one.
Yeah.
Dex. Dex save. Found it.
19. That's really good
What
for
the
you.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to take 10 damage
Oh,
from
no.
the fan of flames that bursts from the hands of this large, blue, scary thing.
I don't like this thing.
That does, unfortunately, mean...
19?
What's...
Wait, I think we should make sure that
think
exhaustion
saving throws is also
saving throws. I
exhaustion
think that
level
might also
3.
be third level
Oh!
of exhaustion.
Maybe I lived.
So he does not have disadvantage on
Yeah.
saves.
So
He doesn't.
1 is just ability checks, 2 is just half speed,
Okay.
3 is when things get really sucky.
Okay, so then...
Why are you so tired?
He's drunk. Basically.
That
Okay, so
explains it.
in that case, Harbeck only takes 10 points of damage
Not dead.
from the burst of flames that fans out across the backside of the ship there. And you both made your reflex saving throws. Okay, Harbeck.
Is Harbeck still strong?
I didn't roll that. Let me just check.
Okay.
You imbibed it last turn, didn't you?
Yeah, beginning of last turn.
Yep, so you're still strong.
Okay. Harbeck swings the quarterstaff up at the chin of this thing and then goes for the shin kick as we do. No, come on, quarterstaff. Shin kick is good, though.
For 15 tree-shattering damage, you kick his shin so hard that, like, from his knee down, falls off his leg. It just shatters outwards. You've just
Gross.
dismembered a lizard person. Can you hear that?
Oh, was that thunder?
Yeah.
I did just hear that. Oh,
That's thunder. I
I thought-
have my external doors shut, so if I go down... all right, that right there proves, okay...
I thought that was just ambient ship noise still.
No, that was like actual thunder from my house. I don't even need to
It's-
turn on the ambient noise.
It's raining a lot harder there than it is here.
So you just dismembered this snake humanoid thing with your bare feet.
Yeah. So is
Good job.
that thing in the corner? Is that an active combatant?
That's
this
me
thing
in the
down here.
corner.
No, here.
That's
this
me
thing
in
down
the
here.
spotlight.
No, and I'm glad you've actually asked about that because I've been waiting for somebody to ask about it. That thing right there is a snaky humanoidy thingy, like the ones that you've been encountering so far, and it is well, I say standing, it doesn't have any legs, but it is on its torso, upright, as if it was, upright, ready to fight. But it's not moving. Like, and I don't mean it's not moving as in it's standing there combat ready, looking around the room. I mean, it's not moving at all.
Like petrified, or it's a really good wax statue, like that amount of not moving?
Yeah, the guys you see that paint themselves silver and stand on buckets for money,
Yeah.
like that, but no silver paint. He just looks normal.
Okay.
I considered asking about him earlier, but I didn't want to remind the DM to add more combatants to our fight with unnecessarily.
Alright, so... I'm really considering whether a move action to make Brieg more stabby is worth dying horribly. And I'm gonna go with no. So, Harbeck, after kicking this thing's leg off, swings his foot around in a high arc, trying to spray some blood from this thing's knee in the eyes of the big monster. But not going to go over there. Just going to stay here on the table where hopefully he doesn't have anything else to throw at me, and Brig can kill him if he tries to move.
Din, your action.
Yeah, I'm gonna cure wounds on Harbeck again. I think that feels like a good idea.
8 more hit points back. You're rolling really well on those cure wounds.
Which is probably a good thing.
Tabrin, you're all invisible and hiding around the corner. What would you like to do?
Creep back in around the corner and shoot the big monster guy.
And by shoot, you mean Eldritch Blast?
Yes.
Okay, make it happen.
Crit!
Ooh.
15 points of
15.
damage.
And 13.
13, okay.
13 misses,
This-
right?
Yes, this thing is looking really woozy.
And I still have a little bit more move.
Duck back around the corner. I was never here. It's the big scary thing's turn.
You saw nothing.
You saw that.
It is going to... It has gotten frustrated with you, Brig. So I'm going to do something a little bit strange. Roll me a reflex save, please.
Okay. Oh,
What?
You were just belly flopped.
Oh.
For...
apparently Evil Brig was just not expecting the beastie to just like give up and flop down on him.
It literally, it doesn't have its trident anymore. It's thrown it at Tabrin and just about impaled him against the wall. It has literally just gone, hup, and belly flopped on you. For 21 points of damage.
Holy, he's heavy.
I fully expect to see Brig just carve his way out of the back of this thing next turn. Just stand on its spine. Hey, guys!
Okay, and now it is Brig's turn.
This image of River Tam and the doors opening, only it's the back of this monster opening. He's got these daggers just dripping in blood.
It's like that scene in the movie Alien when the guy pops out of the guy's chest. So it's Brig with his daggers.
And only scarier.
Oh.
Yeah. So what are my options here? Like, can I move enough to get daggers into him, or
You could... The simple act of trying to wriggle your way out from underneath this hulking mass of flesh will probably stab him a bit. So what?
so this is kind of what I picture. I'm now like on my back under this giant thing. I'm going to use my daggers to get some extra leverage to try and pull myself out from under him. So I'm just going to like so I'm
Punch
just
your
gonna,
headphones.
stab them
Like
in
an
as
ice
high
axe
as I can get,
in
the-
and try to pull myself out.
Just ice pick your way out. Okay, I like it. I like it. Make 2 attack rolls for me.
Okay.
I'm going to give you disadvantage on these. It's very hard to swing a dagger when you are crushed underneath hundreds of pounds of flesh.
That will be a 15 and a 22.
Okay, so the 22 hits, the 15 does not. But you do manage to just drag yourself completely exhausted and in like significant amounts of pain out from underneath the huge monstrosity thing. So I'm going to drag you up to here and move him back to where he was. Almost passing out from the pain, but the big thing that you just dragged yourself out from underneath does not seem to be moving anymore. It's still and bleeding everywhere. So that will be the end of that combat.
Okay.
Everything is dead and dealt with.
Shoot it in the
So-
head.
So Brieg is laying there just like utterly covered in gore, panting. And he pants. And then he just like goes from laying there panting to curled up in a ball weeping uncontrollably.
Does this thing have ears?
Prestidigitation to get him clean.
I mean, I know there's like no external. Is there something ear-like that I could chop off for a trophy and just give to Brieg? He needs an ear here, I think. Because
it doesn't have ears.
How about a finger? Or pull a tooth out. A toe. A nice.
It does have
toe.
fangs. It has large, scary fangs.
probably make a nice sword out of one. Thing's gigantic. Brieg, lad, is that you? Harbeck scoops Brieg up and just tucks him into his big soft belly and blankets him with his beard. It'll be alright, lad. You'll be okay.
I remember
What do you remember?
all of it. What I just did. Who am I? What
Brieg,
am I?
this is what I want you to think right now. You saved our lives. That's what you did. We can figure out the rest later. For now, you saved us.
More weeping as Brieg curls up like a toddler in his daddy's arms.
Harbeck sits down cross-legged on the floor. You guys finish the search. We might be a minute.
Okay, so what is everybody doing? While Brieg and Harbeck hug.
I'm gonna go poke the thing.
You go over, examine the thing.
Are you examining the frozen thingy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. From everything that you can see, like just looking at it, it looks just like the ones you've been fighting previously. There was one just at the door here. There was one earlier on in this level of the ship. It looks exactly the same, except it has a small yellow crystal embedded in the center of its chest.
Like the yellow crystals out in the hall.
Exactly like the yellow crystals embedded in the
Tabern.
hole.
I don't know what the crystals do. Should we take it?
I think this is what we came here for.
Oh, great. Do we take him or just the crystal? Oh, wait. This is the don't touch it crystal?
I think this might be the don't touch it crystal.
I have a magic rope. Hold on.
Her rope flops uselessly to the ground.
I'll call over my shoulder while still comforting Brieg. I'll call over my shoulder. My contact said that gloves would be enough protection.
Oh.
And put
I'll
gloves
just-
on and
Yeah. I can use my cloak and just scoop it into my backpack.
So Jen is just scooping the crystal out of this thing's chest into her backpack.
Yep.
That's what's happening. Okie dokie.
works for me. Does anything happen to the
Yeah,
Guys,
so
anything?
the second you manage, it's really easy to scoop out. It was just like it was resting against its flesh, even though it clearly had made a cavity in this thing's chest. As you sort of sweep it away from its chest, the big snaky thing that stands as tall as a human collapses into a pile of snaky thing on the ground. It doesn't appear to be breathing.
Wow. I think I killed it.
Well,
Well done.
now that that's in your backpack, just be careful not to touch it.
So
Okay.
that's what I was sent for. What were we sent for? Do you think that it's the same thing?
I don't know. Let's look around, see rummage through papers on the desk and chests in the room.
You can go take a look, Harbeck. I'll collect myself.
And when everyone's ready, maybe head upstairs.
I'll get investigation checks from those who are searching.
Okay. Harbeck will join the search, probably distracted by, keeping an eye on Brieg, making sure that he's okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's just Tavern and Harbeck searching. A little bit of RP here that's going to happen, which is going to do a couple of things. As you're searching around the room, you guys all, well, those who are looking around and paying attention, you notice that Rogar is kneeling, praying at the door. He's kneeling, resting his hands on his warhammer, his head on his hands, praying in a language that you don't understand. You'd assume that it's his native language. And it was strange because he didn't help you in the fight or anything like that. He's just sort of been shadowing you guys for a while, and it doesn't really make sense. He is just sitting there praying. Even like when the whole party was in danger, he was just sitting there praying, which is completely against his nature.
Rogar, are you feeling all right?
He looks at Brieg and says, "Do you remember the name you shouted out?"
Yes.
Do you know who it is?
I know some. I don't actually know much about who it is. Just that I remember him, and I know how much I hate him. Just, I can feel the hate. It's so strong. It almost makes me sick.
Rogar says, "Rest up, little one. We'll discuss this later." And goes back to praying, leaning on his warhammer.
Well, that's unusual. Rogar, you're usually not so ominous.
If what I believe is true, then this is the darkest of omens. We need to leave, and we need to regather ourselves. And we need to discuss what transpired here.
I think he's right, Harbeck. I don't like it down here. It's dark and harbours bad memories. Maybe if we discuss this in a more peaceful setting, it will be easier.
Now, yes,
Is the boat still here? Didn't the boat leave? Are we stuck?
I was just going to say that I think perhaps those of us who aren't in the know about whatever it is that's going on might stay and finish searching the boat while the rest of you arrange transport off the island.
I'm concerned about leaving anybody here long enough. If it turns out we just have to row back, I'm afraid what might happen with those crystals if we leave you here too long. They're still growing.
We'll go quickly. We just finish up in this room and head up these stairs.
I think
Right, but
there
if
was
we
a spot
leave,
we didn't search on the level above that's probably at the top of these stairs.
right, but if we leave to go arrange transport, who knows how long that'll take? It took us 8 hours to get here, and that was in a ship with a sail.
No, I mean, summon the captain.
If he stayed, you may recall there was some question as to whether he would do that.
I'm going up the stairs.
Okay, Babs is going up.
Logistics are
Followed in.
I suppose if I'm going to meet my watery grave, if I'm going to sink and die at the bottom of the ocean, I might as well know what's in the ship.
Are you going up the stairs as well, Harbeck?
Yeah, Harbeck goes up the stairs.
So Brieg carefully picks himself out of the pile of gore left behind after Tabarin kindly prestidigitated him clean, and slowly follows up the stairs.
Okay. I can tell you now it's not very exciting.
Yeah.
You see a teeny tiny room. In fact, by the time you try and get up there, Bree, you can hear them jostling around upstairs because there's not an awful lot of space. But in this little sort of extra room that was hidden behind a door that was locked and up a trapdoor into a separate floor, you find a small, ornate, oaken box that yay big with a lock on it.
Great.
Any symbols on the box?
Yeah, the holy symbol of Sarath.
Taking it.
Let's
Somebody take
get
it.
that out of here, and you've got my crystal that I need for the artificers.
I'll trade you. But you have to reach in there and get it.
Uh,
Don't touch any of my stuff.
we'll deal with it later.
Okay.
Let's get off this ship.
And just for clarification as well, the little box looks suspiciously like a little box that you recovered about 7 sessions ago
In that
Yeah.
first temple.
in the first temple that you went to.
Great.
I hope it's full of more daggers of exploding, fierce, violent death.
Yeah.
Wasn't that in the box, or did we find that somewhere else?
I don't remember. It was in there somewhere. In that temple was where those came from. Have we thoroughly searched all of the other... We should thoroughly search the rest of the chests in the ship and make sure that there's nothing else that could be useful on our way out.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Weren't you the one just saying that we were like in a super hurry?
I don't think we're in a super hurry, but if we leave and take 3 more days to try to arrange passage,
Oh no,
that would be bad.
I just meant signal the captain.
Okay, so you thoroughly search the ship top to bottom, avoiding the crystals, of course, checking all of the chests on each of the decks before returning to the surface. That's the plan.
Is Rogar coming with us?
Rogar will be coming with you, yes. After praying for an extended period of time, he stands up solemnly, doesn't say anything, and follows the party. Kind of like a lost puppy, only 7 foot tall and clad in plate mail. Okay, so can I get investigation checks from everybody for your final sweep of the ship? Tavern investigates real good.
I see things
Real
better
good.
than I search for them.
Oh, I investigate real good too.
I was being sarcastic, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
weren't.
I didn't notice his... You investigate as well as I perceive.
Pretty much.
Okay, so you search the ship from top to bottom. You open up all of the chests. It takes time, lockpicking, etc., but probably a total of an hour will get you through the entire thing. You find a variety of useful goods, trade goods, some spare weaponry, things like that. In general, though, the way I mostly handle loot is just give you liquid value of monies or items, because keeping track of individual loots can be very difficult, especially if it's not specific, like magical loot or, you know, exciting stuff. So basically, throughout the ship, you would have found probably about 1,000 gold pieces in gems, between mostly in that back room that you were just in, the big like study area with the summoning circle. But you also would have found probably a couple of 100 gold worth of weapons, and probably about 1,000 gold in coin as well. On top of that, you found a book that is written in a language that you don't recognize, although Rogar says it has some similarities to Draconic, the language that he speaks. And you also find, what was it? Hang on, let me pull up my notes. I know there's something exciting in here, and with Brieg rolling a natural 20, I'm sure he would have found it. Ah, right, yes. On the blue thing, the blue humanoid-looking creature who was a little bit more clothed than the rest of them. He had pockets, and in his pockets you found a ring.
Can you
A
put it on
gold
to become
band.
invisible?
No, you don't. Because that's all Brieg needs now, right? No, it's
Invisible.
it's a gold banded ring with a like jet black onyx set into it.
I am already a little person apparently being hunted by a dark god. I mean, giving me the invisibility ring is only fair at this point.
Anyway, so that'll allow you to search the entirety of the ship. So you've searched the entirety of the ship. We're moving back to the surface of the ship.
So, would it be like weird in this context to show up with a rowboat full of discarded weapons to sell? Like, I feel like that might be weird.
Yeah, I don't know that we would want to take the weapons.
I mean, the golden gems obviously we can take, but
Maybe
seems
if
like-
there are weapons like daggers and things that are small enough that we can be sneaky about them.
I guess we can just like leave them in a crate or a barrel or something. And
Right.
But
But it's
you
just
can
like-
just pile them all
We're
in a crate. It looks like salvage.
Speaking of
Transporting
barrels,
some stuff.
were any of mine still on the ship?
No.
Sad. Well,
It's a bit
we can pretend that a barrel was one of mine, and I can carry it around and be very happy about it. And they'll never suspect that it's full of all sorts of harmful contraband.
So you're loading all of the weapons up into an ale keg that was empty. And pretending that it's a keg full of ale. That belonged to Harbeck the dwarf.
Don't listen
The
too
well-known
closely to
drill.
the rattling.
It's okay, we can just fill it with seawater.
Chink,
and
chink,
no one
chink,
will
chink,
know.
chink. The seawater is excellent for iron weapons.
Totally a good plan.
Just saying. Just saying.
It's not going to be in there very long. It's
Well, that all
They're all-
depends. You get to the surface of the ship.
I bet our ride is going.
What
So
are you
we-
going to do?
so they
The-
like put us into a longboat and told us to go, and we said, "Okay, we'll go. Will you please hang out here in this general area?" So I think the only plan is to get in the longboat and row back out to the general area where we hope they're waiting for us.
I hate this plan. Oh,
oh, you can't possibly hate it as much as I do.
you're right.
So that's the plan then?
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
is there any other choice? We could try to dislodge this giant ship and sail it back into port. Like, I don't know what other choices
That's
we
a
have.
worser plan.
sailing a giant demon omen ship back.
Right, full of crystals
Laden
that would
with
slowly
crystal
take over the
glowing
entire
crystals.
city. It's, I mean,
I think, once we get far enough out where we think they should be throwing up flare signals with prestidigitation or whatever to try and signal.
yeah.
Help.
I mean, really, the only option is if they're not there, we row all the way back. There are no other choices, right?
I've never
That's-
wished I could fit into one of my barrels.
We
As
have a
much as I
magic
wish it
rope.
now.
Can't we use the magic rope to get us somewhere?
The magic rope can only hold a very limited amount of weight.
But it could pull a
Like
boat
the weight
across
of
the
a rope.
ocean.
Well,
Yeah, it can. I think it can exert something like 20 pounds of force. It's not going to be towing us very quickly.
It would tow you, though. You just have to be concentrated the entire time.
Yeah, just have to focus on my mage hand for hours and hours. That will be my contribution because I'm not going to be able to row very well. I'll
that's very
push.
true.
Here's this.
Okay, so you get into the rowboat, you load it up with your loots, and you set off rowing.
I guess we're making Rogar row because I don't think that Harbeck is really capable of it at this point.
Harbeck is exhausted, so Rogar will be
yeah.
rowing.
Harbeck is
Yeah.
exhausted and terrified. Like, every time a
can
little
row.
wave splashes over the edge of the ship, he acts like we're sinking. Like, the ocean's in the boat!
Brieg reaches over and takes his like giant bearded dwarf head and holds it into his chest the same way that he does every time that Brieg freaks out.
except that Harbeck's head is about the size of Brieg's
Right.
chest.
So he holds all of Brieg. I hold just his giant head.
I shouldn't row.
It'll be all right.
So, during the journey, because it's going to take you like a couple of hours probably to row out to where the captain said he may or may not be waiting, is there anything that wants to be said or done? Everybody except Rogar could take short rests, for instance.
I don't know that
Definitely.
I would
Harbeck
do that.
can.
Need to bandage
Harbeck
up.
probably can't.
Yeah,
Harbeck
also-
is going to rock in terror and, like, ironically mimic the motion of the boat in the waves just by being so afraid.
Okay.
Why is there water everywhere? Who trusts a tree? A dead piece of tree to keep them out of the ocean. This is a terrible plan. Don't.
Shh. It'll be all right, Harbeck.
Okay. After rowing for about an hour, hour and a half, you come to, you would guess, none of you are really navigators or seafarers, roughly where you had originally rowed from. And there is no sign of the ship that brought you here, the caravel.
Now, Din, I'm going to give you another quick lesson in morality.
Uh-huh.
It's still bad for us to kill him when we get back.
But he left us.
Right. Now, I'm pretty sure that it's still bad to kill him when we get back.
You're pretty
That's really convincing.
Well, I really want to. But that doesn't make it okay.
What if you weren't there and when you came back, he just was dead? And you don't know how that happened. But maybe I know how that happened.
Do you think Din's ready for advanced legal jargon? Because you need to give us the gift of plausible deniability. And we were just fine up until the part where you said you would know how it happened.
I'm
This can... Mm?
pretty sure we can't kill him. Or rather, we shouldn't kill him.
Okay, so what is the plan?
So I'm pretty sure that land was that way. Anyone?
Well, there's
Oh.
land in all the directions as long as you don't care how long it takes to get there.
Don't any of you
And to
have
care a lot.
magic-y ways to talk to people? Like, what about your little tinkling spiders? Can't you just make a little tinkling bird that...
I don't think they swim. And I didn't make them, they came to visit me. I don't...
Well, couldn't you make one come to visit you now? Tell your friends we have the crystal and we want to give it back to them, but they have to come get us out of the ocean.
I don't think... I can't summon them at will. They find me when they're looking for me.
And just for reference, knowing the map, because you have seen the map, there's about a 45 to 50 degree angle that if you were to row in that direction, you would never hit land, according to folklore and all popular knowledge of geography.
So Bree killed the giant thing that could have killed us by sitting on us, and we're gonna die floating in the ocean.
So, okay.
We're not going to die.
We've
You
seen a
don't know
map
that.
of where the island is.
Right, and we're in a bay, so there's land almost all the way around us. We just need to make sure we go in a straight line in a direction, and chances are we'll be fine.
The problem is determining what's a straight line. All the directions look the same. This
Well, if
filthy
it's a-
ocean.
If it's a clear night, we can use stars. I think that I've heard that sailors do that.
Do you know how to do that?
Well, you. So is there maybe a star that doesn't move?
Can we roll a?
This star.
I'm
I
actually
trained
am
in
trained in
survival.
survival.
I'm pretty sure I can tell which way is like northeast by looking
can
at
probably.
a sun or a star or something.
Yeah, I'm actually trained in survival. Also, I'm pretty sure that we can like
Between all
figure
of
out
you, you
using
probably
sun
can.
I don't imagine that I
I
even.
took favored terrain coast. Hold on, let me see if that helps.
My favorite
what?
terrain is not
Coast.
the ocean.
Coast.
Can you have the opposite of favored terrain?
We can't become lost except by magical means when we're on the coast, but we're in the ocean. I don't think this helps us at all.
Yeah, I think you're a little too far from the coast for it to actually help. Can I get perception checks from everybody, please?
Yeah.
Sure. Hey,
Harbeck can't see very much over the edge of the longboat that he's hiding behind. Surprise!
Hey, Tabron. You see a ship off in the distance.
I pointed out to everyone and Rogar to head that direction.
Make a flashy thing.
Is it a ship we would be familiar with? Is it the
hard
ship
to-
we came in on? Hard to tell.
It's hard to tell from this, yeah. From this sort of range, it's very hard to tell because it's just appearing over the horizon.
Okay.
they'll probably take us in anyway. You know.
I am going to use Druid Craft to help create a current in the water to help speed the process in towards that ship.
I'm going to light one of my arrows on fire and shoot it into the sky.
I'm going to cast light on your arrow as you're trying to strike your flint and steel.
Ooh! Have a
Now she
magic
has a
arrow!
magic arrow.
Now I don't want to shoot it.
I have elemental attunement, which is essentially prestidigitation with elemental themes, and I'm just going to send up little fires. Like flares.
Okay. The ship is now heading directly towards you. It's quite obvious that it's heading directly towards you. And as it starts to get closer and closer, you realize it's not the caravel that you came out on.
Great! It probably doesn't hate us then.
It's a twin-hulled ship, and its sail is painted in some interesting colors.
Oh no.
Is it elves? Is this about to
Does
be
anybody have... actually, yeah, can I get... I'm just trying to think what the most appropriate check is for it, skill-wise.
We could just compare it to the imprint from the sword blade on my butt.
bad?
If I'm guessing correctly, that
Can I
Is that a
have
skill?
a history skill check from everybody, please? And Breed, you get advantage.
That is the saddest thing you've ever said. Those words. Brieg, you get advantage. makes me super sad. I got a 10.
You are so scared that you don't even realize that it's going on. Harbeck and Din.
I met some
And
elves one time.
Harbeck and Din, yeah. Harbeck and Din, you guys both recognize the emblazoned emblem of the elves.
Oh, good, it's the elf.
Dump the weapons out of the keg of ale. Hide the gnome.
Put the gnome in the keg.
Yes.
It's the elves of Thakon.
It's
They're
the
the ones
elves
that
of
tried to kill
recognizing
us.
this dwarf, most likely.
Only
They
if
might
they're
have
the-
brought different elves. That's probably our only hope.
Right. I mean, if it's the same elves that were chasing us before that are on this ship
Maybe
now.
if we set the boat that we're in on fire.
How
Nope,
does
I
that
don't know
help?
where I'm
No.
going with that plan.
No, that's a terrible plan. Let's poke holes in it at the same time. You realise that this
But that would put the
this
fire out.
whole thing here is a bit denser than water, and that I'll be at the bottom of it. It's not easy to breathe.
If we put you in the keg,
I don't.
do you fit in a keg?
He doesn't fit in the cave.
Have you ever played with the child's toy where the things are cut into shapes that are?
She was raised
No.
by wolves.
No, you haven't. Okay. Well, at any rate, no. But they can't find Brieg unless they find the Brieg that we met in the ship, maybe. But how do you feel, Brieg? Is that a thing?
Brieg is already crying a little bit, and at that suggestion, his like slight fearful tears turns into just like sobbing terror.
He's going to be really
Harbeck dumps
hard
all
to
the weapons
hide
out of the
if he's
keg.
making that much noise.
Into the ocean.
Here-
And says, Brieg, you're going to have a wooden hug for a minute. And
We
puts
might
him in
have-
the keg.
We might have needed those. I bet there are a
wooden
lot of
hug.
elves on this ship.
Think of
A
it as a
wooden
wooden
hug.
hug. I know it's dark in there. And I know that's going to be a struggle. But it's better than the elves finding you.
Brieg like finds a mantra and starts trying to like calm himself down.
Now just a bit quieter. Lid.
And now
It's just
Brieg
a
is
wooden hug.
encased
It's
in
just
a
a wooden hug. It's just a
tiny
wooden hug.
little dark keg.
It's just a wooden hug. Harbeck's there. It's just a wooden hug.
Harbeck rocks the whole keg. Hoping that counts as a wooden hug.
Not
And
the
on top of-
sensation of drifting on water.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way this is going to work.
And there is nothing strange about a dwarf hugging a keg. Anyway, guys, that's where we're going to be calling it for tonight. That is going to be the end of our 3-hour stream today. So we didn't get through quite as much as I thought we would have, but I still had a ton of fun. Thanks, guys, for showing up to play, and thanks everybody for watching.